Nigel.
Lenny. Gentlemen, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you both. Follow my instructions. When I tell you to break cleanly. Watch heads in close. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Important clash in the ultra-competitive domestic light welterweight division between a top 10 ranked Lenny Daws and Nigel Wright. Daws, the former British champion, they know each other well. 10 years ago as kids, Daws stopped Wright in the NABC finals, but more importantly 18 months ago the Londoner was victorious again over 12 rounds. How will the rematch go? It could be, Glenn, another tight sort of pick-em encounter.
Yes, it could be, but I know last time out Nigel Wright was not in the best of shape. He wasn't feeling good mentally, had outside problems, and this time I know he's coming to win this fight. He thinks he can do it this time, a lot more focused, and the fight's there to win.
He can start quickly, has power, Nigel Wright, and Daws, well, he has been open and vulnerable early, once or twice in his career. But mixed messages from the Northeast camp. Wright said he's going for a knockout, but we've heard he might take it round by round and try and outbox Daws on the outside.
Well, he's electing to use his southpaw jab early on, just trying to pick through the guard of Lenny Daws.
He's the one, Glenn, that's got to come up with something different, isn't he, this time, Wright?
Yes, he has. Last time he was unusually subdued. He didn't have any spark, and he just let Daws dominate the fight. This time I think he'll certainly try something different. Already we're seeing the southpaw jab a lot sharper this time around.
Yeah, delivered beautifully there. Once, twice, and 3 times from Nigel Wright. He did start early well against Daws. Last time, probably pinched the first 2, maybe even 3 rounds. There's a different demeanor as he gets that ramrod southpaw jab right into the face of Daws.
But you suspect he's going to need a little bit more than that southpaw jab. He's going to try and get the respect of Daws early on.
Not really moving his head, Daws, and already damage under the left eye, as marked up before. His real strength is his engine, his fitness. He warms up as the bouts tick along. But this has been a positive start from Nigel Wright here.
Wright's trying to stop Daws working in close, just relying on that sharp right southpaw jab.
I think he looks totally different to he did 18 months ago. There's a glow about Wright here, Glenn, already.
Yeah, there's a little more spark, but it's early days here. And Daws will be looking as usual, just to start going through the gears as the fight goes on.
They train so very, very hard, Lenny Daws. Relies on that. But Wright just using his strength and his skills and takes the opener. Welcome back to a Wednesday night at the York or Bethnal Green, and it's as good an atmosphere as on a Friday, isn't it?
It doesn't matter what the night, if you're at the York Hall, it's always a good night of boxing. Just showing the jabs landing there. Excellent from Nigel Wright, who started well, got a little bit more sharpness and confidence in that opening round, so that might serve him well as the fight progresses.
Nigel Wright is actually the English light welterweight champion. He's defending that belt against Lenny Daws, even though he lost the British title challenge last year. So it's Daws who needs to rip this belt away from Wright. It's a must-win fight for the pair of them, both 28, and both hoping to go a lot further in the sport.
Well, it is a bit of a crossroads fight, isn't it? I know it's for the English title held by Wright, but it's the British title thereafter. And really, whoever loses here, it's going to be a hard road to get back there.
And the British title has been changing hands. Barry Morrison beat Lenny Daws, then Colin Lyons produced that wonderful technical performance in Scotland to take the title. And that's what Wright will hope to do here with the southpaw style and the long arms and the accuracy. Dean Powell saying in the corner, the jab's good, but don't forget doubling up with it, because that will give you a big advantage.
Well, that gives you that little bit more room to work, doesn't it? If you can get the double jab on, that'll just push Daws on the back foot and allow him to bring the left hand in.
Nigel Wright won his last fight in this round, the second against the American Jonathan Nelson in Newcastle in March. And Daws came back with a win over Billy Smith in May. So this far more important than either of those two.
Just wrestling centre ring for the strength there. Just testing each other out a little bit. Daws just not able to get into a rhythm. That's right, who's shutting him down inside and then getting the points at long range.
All set up with the jabs from Nigel Wright. Daws trying to get inside and rough him up, take him out of his smooth rhythm.
That is what Daws has to do. He's got to try and push right on the back foot, just knock the fight out of him a little bit. Get him wary to throw that southpaw jab, and you've took the game plan away from Wright.
That's it, remind him of those qualities that got him the victory last time, but he can't get out of the way of this jab, and the left hand to follow up was good from Wright.
Yep, he's got the confidence.
One step.
Early rounds. Daws has got to try and remind him who's won the last two times they've met.
And needs to step it up, Lenny Daws. Walking into too many at the moment.
But let's get in closer now. 1-2 up and get you there, we'll double jab on, and then when you're there underneath and up top with your uppercuts and hooks, all right? And then work him, all right? But let's get the fight closer now. You're staying outside too long.
Robert McCracken already getting slightly agitated. There is a long way to go, but it's only 10 rounds this time. He needs to step it up.
Yep, he's got to try and take that southpaw jab away from Wright. And, you know, he needs to get closer, try and nullify that with his own left jab.
The gold trunks of Lenny Daws needs a sparkling performance here, really. It's the 17th fight of his professional career, and Nigel Wright's 21st. And Wright is absolutely buoyant here. Believes that the defeat was just a one-off. Daws tries to respond, and the fans get behind him here in East London.
But it's still that southpaw jab that Wright's trying to push out into the face of Lenny Daws.
Since the loss to Daws, Wright's had a good win over Gary Reid, who went on to challenge for a Commonwealth title. And also he'll be lifted by Kevin McIntyre's big win over Barry Morrison. Over Kevin Anderson, sorry, the other week. That upset because Wright stopped Anderson, stopped McIntyre in a round. Good jabs from the man from Crook.
Yep, seeing McIntyre do that might have just given him a little bit of confidence.
Watch those heads, both of you.
Watch the head, says Phil Edwards, referee. Robert McCracken was having a word with the referee, saying that Wright was getting in close and holding. But he's also, Glenn, letting the punches flow, and well.
Yep, he's the busier, he's getting the shots off Nigel Wright, but Daws is just trying to pick himself up a little bit, trying to do more, be more active in there.
Little cut by the left eye of Nigel Wright. Happening there somewhere. That will give Lenny Daws something to go on.
Now he's just starting to work a little bit more, Daws.
But heavy punches from Wright too. It's a good third round, this.
There's a decent left hook went in from Daws.
to the jab, goes right. Mustn't panic about the cut.
No, certainly not. He's got Dean Powell, who's excellent with cuts in his corner, so that shouldn't be a problem at all.
Better from Daws in the third. Certainly closing the distance and the range. Wright still trying to work the body. It's a good one, this.
Straight shots, Nigel. You can't handle the class, right? You can't handle the class. He wants to have a fight with you, right? You're doing all right in the fights, but there's really no need to be there.
Dean Powell working the eye. Peter Cope just reminding Nigel about his class here, that he's a better boxer.
Well, he is the better boxer. He is the sharpest stylist of the two. But Daws is strong and wants to try and get him into a fight.
Timeout called by Phil Edwards right at the start of the fourth to tidy it up, I think. Yeah, they touch gloves. There's a great deal of respect between these two. They may be old foes, but they both realise that they are decent campaigners in a tough 10-stone division. Nigel Wright in his familiar white trunks with the red and blue tassels, and the red tassels on those white boots as well. From Crook in County Durham, trains in Hartlepool. Do you think Daws is going to try and work the body of Wright more and slow him down?
Yeah, he's going to try and make this a physical fight, and that's where he can get on top. But you know, if he can take that jab away from Wright, stop him using that punch, then he's got a chance. And he knows that. He's done it before.
He's on his toes a bit more, Daws. This is where the rounds of sparring might come in, he'll need it, but Wright's not afraid to stand with him as well. And we didn't see so much of that in their first encounter. Lack of head movement there from Daws.
Yeah, he is pretty straight up and down, isn't he? The defense is not great, and that's allowing Wright to use that jab, but he's got to get back to the southpaw jab. This is not really his game in close.
Likes to throw the uppercut right. Has blown out a few early. Tends to use his boxing skills in the main. Won 2 senior ABA light welterweight titles in '98 and 2000. And Daws was the champion in 2002. There's not a lot between them, and there never will be, I don't think.
No, these rounds are pretty close. Just a little bit more work rate from Wright, but all the time you see Daws just coming out of his shell, starting to do that little bit more.
Yeah, he was in trouble early against Silent Saeed. Managed to come back, also against the Russian Denis Alexeyev. Can find a way, Daws. He's got a huge heart. But it's a bad start, even by his standards. And that damage increasing under the eye for Daws.
Gets a little bit of success there, Daws, but it just followed a good southpaw right from Wright.
Last couple have been closer. Wright just looks at his corner.
World Championship action on Friday Fight Night next week. Juan Guzman against Humberto Soto for the WBO Super Featherweight title. That's Friday, November 23rd, 10 o'clock, Sky Sports 1.
Dean Powell with the last bit of advice at the end of the minute respite for Nigel Wright. Here we are in the 5th round. Wright, we think, certainly won the first couple. Last 2 have been tighter. I guess it's a preference for what you like, Glenn.
Yeah, he still seems to be, in control a little bit more. Right, Daws is trying. He's trying to just close that gap, but He needs to do something pretty big just to take the play away from Wright.
6 stoppages only in 15 wins for Lenny Daws. Tends to grind you down. Did that to Oscar Hall, who was pulled out after 7 rounds in October 2005. Very dedicated, isn't he, Daws? And he's got plenty of spirit. He will believe he can do this.
Oh, he certainly will. You know, he's been the boss in the past. He'll have a little bit more self-confidence, but he's got to get into a pattern. He's got to start getting his work going, and that Wright hasn't allowed to happen. Now there's a little more cleaner work from Daws.
Again, the fans rally, who have come up from Morden in Surrey. Nigel Wright is meeting him this time. And we're nearly at the halfway mark. By this stage, Daws was in control in May last year for the British title. And you can't say he is here.
Well, he's doing better in this round. Some nicer work inside. I'm a bit surprised Wright's giving him that little bit of room and allowing him to fight like this.
A couple into the damage by the left eye of Daws, both above and below it. And the right also cut. These two really want this. They know a win is very important at this stage in their careers. The loser will have to wait a long time, you sense, for a shot at the British title. Or for Daws, a chance to regain it.
Well, Wright making a mistake in this round. He's allowing Daws to fight his fight. You know, he needs to keep the distance and keep it clean behind the jab. He's not. He's fighting Lenny Daws' fight. It's getting scrappy, but it's Daws who's doing the better work inside.
Yeah, it's the pressure, the work rate, the combinations from Lenny Daws. This is better from Daws. Can he wear down Wright? And has he got enough time over 10 rounds? Body shots from Daws as well. He loves to throw them, and he took that round. Good night here at the York Hall. And coming up, Darren Barker, the unbeaten hope from Barnet. He's a promotional stablemate of Lenny Daws, and they've got high hopes as he aims for the Commonwealth middleweight title. That's coming up next against Ben Crampton, a rather unknown quantity from Australia, but Crampton's never, ever been beaten like Barker, and they've dubbed this someone's O has to go, Glenn.
Well, it certainly does. He's going to be in confident mood, but Barker. Well, back to this, and it's a very good fight for the English title, with Lenny Daws suddenly getting into the fight a little bit, starting to get his punches off. Nigel Wright just elected to stand with him there. 49-46. A comfortable start from Nigel Wright, but Daws far from over.
Phil Edwards, the man who referees and judges this, and interestingly, he judged the Lenny Daws Barry Morrison fight, and he gave it to Morrison by a couple of rounds. So it might be down to what he likes, the styles of these two. Not a great deal in these sessions. Well, Wright certainly, having had the very positive start, might be feeling the effects of some of these body shots and some of this tempo that Daws is setting.
Yeah, Daws starting to get a little bit more of a rhythm. He seems the physically stronger of the two. Right, should be relying on his skills, that southpaw jab.
He's always had plenty of pedigree and potential, Nigel Wright. The camp have often said he'd go in with any light welterweight, wouldn't even mind someone like Ricky Hatton or Junior Witter. Hasn't quite worked for him. Is there a reason, Glenn?
Well, I think just when the big opportunities have come up, he hasn't took them. And this man has been a lot to blame. Lenny Daws, you know, he stopped the progression. So Nigel Wright knows he's got to get past him.
It can be a nuisance to fight Lenny Daws because he never stops coming and trying. Not the best technical fighter we have in Britain by any means, but well, he's got so much grit, drive, and he's starting to back right up.
No punches, fellas, no punches.
Yes, and in close like that, Wright is not effective. You know, where Daws can use his strength, can get shots off.
Body shots from Wright were better, but back comes Daws on those ropes.
Yeah, the right uppercut, the left hook with good punches. He's trying to push him back physically. Right, I'm not sure that's the best tactic for this fight.
They're really forcing that left hook there, Nigel Wright. And this is even better, though, than the first time they met, Glenn. Excellent matchup.
Yeah, it looks like Wright wants it more in this fight. I don't think his mind was fully on the job last time. This time it is. He's certainly giving it a bigger go already. But just some of his work not as effective.
Yeah, has Daws got the edge in physical strength, and maybe even in conditioning. Slight change here.
Listen, trust me, he's going to be a lot tighter than you. You just got to work them shots. Really whip him here now and come back with the left hook, all right?
You see there what a division it is domestically. Ricky Hatton, of course, going up to welterweight for his mega match. Junior Witter holding the WBC crown. Gavin Rees holding the WBA. Colin Lyons, British and European champion. What a year he's had. Jose Alushigan,
He did not like the body shots.
maybe
You know
avoiding
he
the Commonwealth.
You know
holder
he doesn't like
Ted
the body
Bammy,
shots.
who's been quiet of late. Lenny
drink.
Daws, Nigel Wright, Ed
listen,
Knight,
are you
David
listening? He's
Barnes,
not a
who's
good
the
guy,
mandatory
eh?
challenger to Colin Lyons' British title. It is a very, very good division, maybe the best of any in the country.
Yeah, it certainly is. Three good names with titles there at the top of this division, so it's a tough one to be in, isn't it?
And the sort of fighters that on any given night, one could win, one could lose, and we might have the same thing here.
Yeah, these fights have always been pretty close. And the last one was, he just pulled away a little bit. Lenny Daws in the second half of the fight, and he'll be looking to try and do that here again. It was a good start from Wright, but Daws, you feel, is just starting to get back in it, getting a little more rhythm.
Wright has turned aggressive, trying to outdo each other to the body. That may suit Daws. The slick boxing and that jab, remember in the first couple of rounds, couldn't miss Daws.
No, but Daws, pretty slow start, and he didn't really get many punches off. Now he's starting to be busier in there, and that's, the fight's just changing its tempo slightly.
Daws' trainer Robert McCracken's always saying he wishes there were 15-round fights still, and that Daws would be so suited to that.
So again, a little period where Wright not really scoring. He's not landing with a jab with as much as authority as he did in the early rounds, Wright.
Both got fairly good chins, resistance. Just looks at his corner there, Nigel Wright. A little weary.
Yep, and the right hand lands from Lenny Daws.
And it's Daws who gets the jab off there. And who's coming forward. And making life uncomfortable for Wright. That's what he's so good at.
That might be a telltale sign in this fight, the fact that Daws was beating Wright to the jab there.
But these rounds are close. both having their successes.
He's trying so hard to get a little bit more momentum, to get a rhythm going. But Daws just catching him with the punches inside, the few punches that matter. When sometimes it gets a little bit messy in there, as Wright tries not to give Daws any room.
Apart from the loss of Daws, Nigel Wright has only ever been beaten once. Before that was by Kevin McIntyre. And then he stopped McIntyre in a round, so he reversed that well enough. Can he reverse the defeat to Daws? Well, plenty of energy going on in the ring. And backstage, here's Ben Crampton. Tough aggressor from New South Wales. Come a long way to fight for this Commonwealth champion. There's his family around him. And he looks confident, doesn't he?
Yep, he does, letting them punches go pretty strongly, isn't he?
Yeah, rattling them off. Darren Barker has seen a few clips of him, but not a great deal. Back here, well, Nigel Wright having thrown more and landed more, but the success just to Daws. It really is an intriguing affair. Get out there, says Peter Cope. Get on with it. He needs a good round here, Nigel Wright, doesn't he, Glenn?
Yes, he does. He needs to land with clean punches. It's just getting a little bit messy, and you just feel Daws doing the better work inside. Wright needs a good round of clean boxing.
It's probably pretty level. So these 3 rounds are vital for both Nigel Wright and Lenny Daws. Lenny Daws, the home fighter under the Mick Hennessy stable. So Nigel Wright may feel he's got to win this big to get the decision. There's the jab.
Yep, that's better. You want to see something come behind that. The jab's probably not enough to keep Daws at bay.
Nigel Wright won this English title by stopping Dean Hickman with a body shot in Doncaster in 7 rounds in March 2005. Good display that. He's defended against Alan Bosworth as well. Gary Reid. This will be the big win if he can pull it off. Amateur defeat, professional defeat to Daws. Could it be 3rd time lucky, or is the tide turning here?
Daws targeting the body of Wright. He's trying to sap the strength. Good uppercut and left hook from Daws. That was eye-catching.
He's just chipped away, Lenny Daws. He's still believing. Gaining the confidence. Maybe he's just a nervous starter.
Yeah, I think he is a slow starter. Just didn't seem that relaxed early on. Was getting beat to the jab. And Wright was running away with it early, but now Daws right back in this fight, making his strength tell.
He won it 117 to 111 on all 3 judges' cards, the British title. Not as wide as that, nowhere near tonight. You wouldn't expect. Not much in this. Fascinating to watch. Good body shots from Wright. But back comes Daws, and he has got that engine they keep going on about.
Yep, he's got a certain strength, hasn't he? And he's using that. Wright's having to try and work hard to keep the arms pumping out, but Daws just seems to be getting slightly the better in this round as well.
Not happy, Nigel Wright.
Hey, listening, 2 rounds, right? Your life depends on it. Hey, listening, your life depends on this. You've got 6 minutes.
If you blow this, it's all over. You know that, don't you? All right? You understand how important this is now?
Right? Nigel,
give him a little drink. Now swallow this, swallow it.
You've got to throw 2 hands, right? You throw the 1, 2, 3s.
Keep your head
Single
still.
jabs are not good enough, right? Single jabs are not good enough. It's got to be double jabs and step with it.
All right, come on, really big solid ground, dominating. Hands up, don't let him hit you with a jab and then you're on him with the right hands and left hooks, all right? With 2 really big rounds, all right? And then it's dominate, all right? Take over and to the bell, not 10 seconds before the bell you finish. Tenacious with him, hands up high and boxing. Come on, just do it, just do it.
Terrific insight into the corners there. Your life depends on it, Nigel Wright, they're saying. And Robert McCracken is saying not 10 seconds before these bells, right to the bell. It could all go to these last 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think there's nothing in this fight. Really is down to the last 2 rounds and who wants it more, who can pull that extra little bit more out.
Has Daws edged ahead on your card? He's level.
Yeah, but I think the corner sense it's pretty close as well. I just feel Daws has got that extra little bit of strength and belief. You know, he's won over Wright before, and I think he feels in his mind that he can do this again.
Nigel Wright's friend Alan Temple alongside us, bellowing instructions, Peter Cope as well, and his manager Gus Robinson keeping quiet over the other side of the ring. How about this from Lenny Daws in the 9th round? He found the punches there.
Yeah, big punches, eye-catching punches. The referee's going to notice them when he's totting up the scorecard. Again, the uppercut lands.
Wright tries to come back. He was the better amateur, but is Daws the more rounded professional with the physical strength and the experience where it matters in these rounds.
Wright's got to give himself some room and let some combinations go. He's just leaning on Daws. Daws is better able to work the spaces, work the gaps, and get his shots on. He's had success with the uppercut, the left hook.
Single shots are not going to win it, they're saying in the right corner. Needs combinations, bunches of punches. That's a better right hand. And another good round here at Bethnal Green. Left to the body from Wright as well. Coming back in this session.
Yeah, this is better. He's trying to push forward, trying to get some shots off.
Watch the head, says Phil Edwards. There's the long arms of Wright, who is digging in. Who is trying to prove he's got the heart as well for this business. Both surely tiring as well.
Needs a big finish to this round. Wright. Daws had the better work early on.
Yeah, he dominated for more of the round. There's Robert McCracken's advice. Keep it going till the bell. And he did there, Daws. He took that, I think.
He does not like it, but you're giving it, throwing the shot and then getting back in the fight again. Hey, listening, everything at this last round, he's going to come like a whirlwind here. Now, you're the man. You're waiting too long. You can't wait for him, right? This round,
He's going to try and throw with you early. Stay with him, all right, and then he'll look too old. So don't worry about it. Stay with him.
Well, that's
Don't
interesting.
look like he's
On
doing
the
something
computer,
wrong, all right?
Nigel
Hands in front of
Wright
your face, get
is
that
in
movement.
front. Punches landed.
come on, this hard man a crook.
Lenny Daws may be in the lead now.
Yep, good little spell early on. Wright really can't allow himself to stand around and get hit with punches like that at this late stage. Every punch means
Everything.
Okay.
You dig in, son. Here he comes.
Looking around ringside, most people have it to Daws just. Could come down to this final session. How important is this? They touch gloves. It's been another good one. Nigel Wright really trying to turn it on Lenny Daws late on. Is there the energy left?
Well, this could be one of the most important rounds of Nigel Wright's life. He needs to pull everything out here. Can't really afford to lose this fight and lose his English title.
The knowledgeable crowd have been mesmerised by this. It's a rally from Wright late. But you can't dampen the spirits of Lenny Daws.
No, but he also needs a big last round, and it's Wright who's trying to get the momentum, trying to push forward and let the shots go.
Could this even be a draw? Could they do it for a third time? We'd like it.
Well, there's been very little in this fight, and if Wright can get a good round and just win this, on my card it would be a draw.
Decent quality men, these two. Might never rise to the lofty heights of European or world titles, but they're giving it everything for this English belt, which has begun to mean a little more to these boxers.
Well, he's gritting his teeth, Nigel Wright. He's pushing forward, he's throwing his arms out more, he's landing more at the first half of this round.
Yes, there's a really good late surge from Nigel Wright. He's reacted to his corner. Watch the head, says Phil Edwards again. But you thought Daws might come out absolutely flying in the final session. It's Wright who has.
Yeah, Wright sticking Daws on the back foot. He's not going to let him off the hook.
He started well, Nigel Wright. He's finishing strongly. But how many rounds did Daws take in the middle of this fight? Just over 30 seconds.
Well, there's very little in this fight, is there? I think it would make an excellent draw. Neither one has ever really got the upper hand for a sustained amount of time.
Yep, there's an argument that neither deserves to lose this 10-round fight. They are both really putting these punches together. Nigel Wright's final round, surely. Has he got a draw? Will he keep his title, or does it go to Lenny Daws? What does Phil Edwards say? And it's a draw, and I think that is a worthy result. The pair of them embrace. Good for boxing. Let's see it again.
Yeah, spot on. I think the ref had it there. A good draw. Neither one got the upper hand. And Nigel Wright did well just to salvage that draw with a good last round. He wanted it bad. Wasn't enough to get him the win, but...
See, Wright threw more, he landed more, but the success with Daws, it was what you liked. It was nip and tuck all the way. And they both go home with a share. A really good fight.
Well, he gained a lot, Nigel Wright. He wanted it, gets to keep the title, and he gets a draw, which is better than he did last time, so room for improvement.
And the fans enjoyed every minute of it. Good example of boxing for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the announcement, the belt will be presented by Mick Collier, your steward in charge, and Mr. Dean Hollington, your board representative. Your referee, Dave Parris, scores the contest. Phil Edwards of Preston scores the contest, 95 points each. Your result is a draw.
Down to the wire again between those two. Johnny Nelson, a draw. Is that how you saw it as well?
Yeah, fair dues. It was well matched, well assessed by both fighters. Good performance, well tested. They're well measured for each other.
What do they do now?
I think they could do it again. Why not? Wright is probably the one that's improved the most because he's managed to grab a draw out of fighting Daws again. They both have got the measure of each other. I just think another fight is inevitable.